binoculars, welcome back to Viva Barca. Welcome to another interesting episode where we are going to be discussing on the latest transfer stories. We start with Frankie's here, as Juventus are eyeing the Barca midfielder as priority. If Paul Pogba leave, it could cost 15 million euros. We are going to be discussing on that as we progress. Secondly, talking about Alex Collado, as the Barca academic graduate is set to join Real Betis for free on a 4-year deal. We are also going to be discussing on that. So guys, as we get right into the full stories, please do ensure to subscribe to the channel. If you haven't, turn on the post bell notification to always stay notified whenever I post a new video. Consider liking the video and please watch it right up to the very end. Frank Kessie has been heavily linked with a move away from FC Barcelona this summer, only a year after he arrived at the club. The 26-year-old failed to nail down a starting spot in Xavi Hernandez's team in his debut season, and his prospects are unlikely to improve in the upcoming campaign, especially with Ilkay Gundogan joining the club recently. As such, Barcelona have told him that an exit would be in his best interest, and even though he wants to succeed at the club, the Ivorian could be open to an exit if a good proposal arrives. And according to reports in Italy, as relayed by Sport, Juventus could be a potential destination for Frank Kessie this summer. The Bianconeri could be set to lose Paul Pogba this summer, with the Frenchman believed to be on his way to Saudi Arabia. As such, they have identified Kessie as a priority option to replace the former Manchester United superstar if he does depart for the Middle East. Kessie is understood to be aware of the interest from Juventus and might be willing to consider the possibility of a move to the Allianz Stadium. As for Barcelona, the La Liga champions would be happy to part ways with the Ivorian and rake in some cash from his departure. With reports of interest from Saudi Arabia, giant Al Nassr doing the rounds, the Blaugrana were hoping to recoup at least 30 million euros from Frank Kessie's sale. However, with Al Nassr turning their focus towards Jorginho, Juventus could be Barcelona's best chance to offload Frank Kessie, and the report adds that the La Liga champions could accept a bid of around 15 million euros or more from the Bianconeri. Barcelona and Xavi wants to resolve the situation with Kessie at the earliest possible, and it remains to be seen if the interest from Juventus materializes into anything more. Of course, Frank Kessie's future still remains uncertain, as the player is eyeing an uncertain future. Barca are pushing for a possible exit, knowing fully well that player sales will be of utmost importance. Something that so far I think it have been a big disappointment that Barca have been unable to get rid of certain players. Of course, Frank Kessie, quite unfortunate that coming to Barca, he have not had the best of seasons. But last season he played a handful of games, especially towards the end of the campaign. When injuries of Pedri was really serious, Frank Kessie stepped up and played well. I would say played well because Frank Kessie was trying to also ensure that Xavi can be convinced that he should rely upon him. But from the way things are going, Frank Kessie does not see the future as bright as he wished. A lot of rumors talking about him linked with an exit. Xavi is not fully the best fan of the player, knowing fully well that he does not fit into his system. There have been a lot of contrasting reports, or let me say contradicting reports as to Frank Kessie's future. Some reports have come out earlier talking about how Frank Kessie is open to a departure if Xavi wants that to happen, because Frank Kessie himself doesn't want to be part of a bench player all the time. He wants to compete majority of the season, as he has been used to that, And some other reports come out saying that Frank Kessie does not want to leave no matter what, to the extent where his agent have also come out and say all those rumors are lies and Frank Kessie still wants to succeed and nothing will push Frank Kessie from leaving Barcelona. So there's still a lot of contradictory reports, but nonetheless, what is it? Like, truth is, Frank Kessie's future is still very uncertain. Barca have also earmarked the player as part of the players that possibly possibly could depart the club if there is serious need for reinforcements. Serious need for sales must really over in fact must overcome the need for reinforcement, because if they don't sell the players as it stands, Barca will go against the financial fair play rules, which will be very detrimental to the club's future and the club's budget. So as it stands right now, they say Juventus are strongly interested, but even though the player does not want to go to Italy, according to some previous reports, this might still be the possibility. Then moving on to the final story of discussion, Alex Collado has become a hot topic in Barca in recent weeks. As the club look to offload their unwanted stars, the young attacker has come out as one of the players poised to leave Camp Nou. Reports earlier in the day indicated that Collado was free to join Las Palmas after receiving green light from Barcelona. However, according to Ferran Martinez, Collado is all set to move to Real Betis on a free. The Spanish club has been in talks with the attacker in recent weeks and are expected to wrap up the signing in the coming days. Martinez claims Collado has accepted a 4-year deal with Real Betis with an option to extend another year. During the process, the player has waived off more than half of the deferred salary Barcelona owed him during COVID. Even though he will leave for free, Barca have retained a future sell-on fee of 30%, which is quite significant, especially if Collado ends up realizing his potential at Real Betis in the years to come. For now, though, the sale of Collado could serve as a major boost for Barcelona as they continue to trim the squad ahead of the new season. The club are actively looking for suitors for their other unwanted stars, including Sergio Des and Clement Lenglet, among others. Collado will join Betis on free, meaning Barca cannot generate any fresh sum from sale of Collado. They will, however, save a small amount in their salary mass, which in turn could help the club in their bid to bring in new players in the market. So guys, with that, we have come to an end of this episode. Thanks a lot for watching. Until next time, bye bye.